Carpools, conferences, microwave dinners. They blur one into the next. We lose ourselves in the fog of everyday life and drift away from what matters. But like a beacon in the night, it finds us. The light of more than 100 lighthouses burning through that fog and beckoning us back to what's real and true. This light shines for us all. This light is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Hi, I'm Rex Piano, the co-producer of the 3D animated movie The Littlest Angel that we produced here in Michigan. I've made live-action movies and animated films all over the world. The last one actually was in Fiji and Korea. So when I got a call that we were going to make a movie here in Michigan, I didn't know what I was in store for. Luckily, we started working here at the Studio Center, and it was virtually like one-stop shopping, because in this facility, behind all these walls, is everything you need to make a movie. Production offices, sound stages, grip and electric equipment, camera equipment, editing suites, even a post-sound facility, and the only wet lab in Michigan. We'll check it out. You know, when you shoot a movie, you need a film camera. Like I said, I've shot all over the world, and we normally had to bring our cameras from California or New York. But when you're shooting in Michigan, there's lots of places, like Fletcher Camera and Lenses. They carry all the ARRI cameras, the newest ones from 35mm, as well as the Alexa. And they also carry RED, which are all digital cameras. This is a beauty right here. This is a film camera.
I think they called it the golden hue. The light, it stays light until about 9:30, 10 o'clock during the summer hours. And they got a lot of great footage. And the director of photography, the DPs, they experienced an unusual opportunity to create film with the light that we have in Michigan.
14 clubs. That's what they tell us a legal golf bag can hold. And while that leaves a little room for balls and tees, it doesn't leave room for much else. There's no room left for deadlines or conference calls, not a single pocket to hold the stress of the day or the to-do list of tomorrow. Only 14 clubs. Pick out the right one and drive it right down the middle of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
I'm standing in Stage A, one of the largest sound stages in the Midwest. They shoot everything here, movies, commercials. Next door is wardrobe rooms, makeup rooms. It's really terrific. They do a lot of car stuff here. And they have the biggest light I've ever seen, our bank of lights. It's all above on a crane system, and it's computerized, and it moves back and forth, completely state-of-the-art. It's really beautiful. You know, everything around me is what you need to make a movie, the grip and electric department. Here you can rent dollies, jib arms, all kinds of lighting. Detroit Power and Light is a great place in Michigan because it's also here within the Studio Center. And like I said before, one-stop shopping. We didn't have to go anywhere else.
It's funny, a lot of people say, you know, why make a film in Michigan? And there's more talent here that is so undiscovered and untapped into that it's not about your ego or vanity, it's just about doing a good job. And, you know, it shows.
From what I heard from the producers that came into town, they were flabbergasted at the work ethic of the people from Michigan. They said they couldn't get this work ethic anywhere else, or at least anywhere else they've been shooting. They were overly impressed with it.
This is the Grayson Wild Film Lab, the only wet lab in Michigan that processes 16mm film, 35mm film. After you shoot it, the negative comes here, goes through this weird-looking machine, and then once the negative is processed, it then goes over to editorial, where you telecine it, and it looks like a movie.
We had to deliver an animatic that was at a record speed to meet our tight production schedule. And we ended up recruiting all Michigan artists, and turned out to be quicker and more detail-oriented than even Disney and DreamWorks artists I worked with in pre-production, because they were so jazzed about doing it. And it shows, not only in the quality of the drawings, but in how they met every deadline.
Welcome to the Littlest Angel Extras. This is the voiceover recording booth where we recorded all of the actors for the movie.
We needed a cartoon superstar. And we were thinking, do we have to cast out of Los Angeles? But then we were blessed to find Nina Kirscher and Ed Kelly. You know, when we needed a voice artist of someone that could be an evil, plotting, bad woman in this project, you know, we auditioned several people, but as soon as we heard Nina do stuff that was off the script, was off the read sheet, she had the part. We had to do the voice of a strong man. We had to do the voice of a dog with a New York gruff accent. And we also had to do the dumb oaf. And Ed did all of them, and he did them well. Where you could be 4 different characters, and I played for people, and then I tell them, by the way, this is all the same guy. They're all like, what?
They also have sound pits in here that have rocks in them or gravel so that you can make all kinds of sounds. It's called Foley. There's a TV screen in here so you can, when you're doing a Foley, you can watch how the guy's running and it matches to the video. All of that's recorded, and then somehow, through the magic of movie making, winds up in this big mixing board. There are about, I don't know, 32 channels of audio or whatnot, and then we mix it in this room so it sounds great when you're watching it at home at your 5.1 sound system.
It's human nature to plan ahead, but sometimes our best ideas come when there's no plan at all. When we just go with the flow and let the day unfold as it was meant to be. A day on the water, soaking up the sun. A day we leave up in the air. Yesterday, this was just a last-minute idea. Today, our big surprise is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Doesn't matter where I am, Los Angeles, New York, Asia, or Dubai, I would still, because of this cloud computing and global intranet database, I would still rely on all these Michigan artists to work with me wherever I go. Hopefully that's here. I'd like to do another film here in Michigan.